I'm 81 years old, and I built a life that looked safe from the outside. It just didn't feel like mine by the time I was done living it. I'm not telling you this to complain. I had food. I had a house. I had a job that never embarrassed anyone. By most measures, I did what a man was supposed to do. I stayed out of trouble. I paid my bills. I didn't gamble, didn't drink much, didn't chase wild dreams that could fall apart. I chose security, every time. And somewhere in all that choosing, I misplaced myself. When you get to this age, you spend a lot of time sitting. The body slows down before the mind does. You sit in a chair by a window and watch light move across the floor, and memories come without being invited. Not the big dramatic ones. Small things, Tuesdays, evenings, the sound of your own key in the door. I don't know who I would have been if I'd been braver. I only know who I was, careful, reliable, tired in a quiet way I didn't understand until much later. In my 20s, it didn't feel like a loss. It felt responsible. My father had worked until his hands looked like old rope. He used to say, a steady job is a blessing. Don't get fancy. I believed him. He wasn't wrong. We didn't have much growing up. The lights going out was a real possibility, not a story. So when I got hired at the factory, I felt chosen. Not special, just safe. A paycheck every 2 weeks, health insurance. A supervisor who nodded when he saw me. I remember my first apartment, brown carpet, a window that looked at a brick wall. I sat on the floor the first night with a sandwich wrapped in paper and thought, this is how you make sure nothing bad happens. That was the goal, not happiness, prevention. I met my wife, Lillian, when I was 27. She laughed easily. That's what I noticed first. She worked at the library, always had a book in her bag. She asked me once what I liked to do for fun, and I remember pausing too long. I work a lot, I said. She smiled, but there was a question in her eyes. I saw it. I just didn't know how to answer it. We got married anyway. We cared about each other. That part was real. But even love, for me, got filtered through the same question. Is this stable? Is this safe? When she talked about traveling, I talked about saving. When she wanted to take a class, I asked how much it cost. Not harshly, just automatically. Like a reflex. I told myself I was protecting our future. The days settled into a pattern so slowly I didn't notice the walls closing in. Wake up before light. Coffee in the dark kitchen. Drive the same road, punch in, the hum of machines. Lunch from a metal box, punch out. Drive home tired in the eyes, even if the body could still go. Lillian would be on the couch with a book. She'd start telling me about her day, and I'd listen, but halfway through I'd drift into numbers, mortgage, car payment, overtime hours next month. I'm thinking of applying for a position at the main branch, she said once. It's more work, but more interesting. Does it pay more? I asked. She looked at me for a moment. A little. That's not really why. I nodded, but my mind had already filed it under risk. We had a son when I was 32. I held him in the hospital and felt something big and terrifying open in my chest. Love like that makes you afraid? Afraid of losing. Afraid of not providing. Afraid of everything. So I worked more. I missed his first school play because a machine went down and I was the one who knew how to fix it fastest. I told myself he wouldn't remember. I missed a weekend trip to the lake because overtime was double pay. I told myself we'd go next year. There was always a next year in my head. Time felt long then. Endless, almost. Lillian stopped asking me to come to things after a while. Not angrily, quietly. She'd just say, we'll manage, and pack the car with our son and a cooler, and I'd stand in the driveway feeling both relieved and strangely left behind. I thought I was being strong, carrying the load. That's the story I told myself. In my 40s, I got promoted, more responsibility. A small office with a door that shut. I should have felt proud. I mostly felt pressure. The higher you go, the more there is to lose. My son started talking about art, drawing, designing things on the computer. I remember sitting at the kitchen table with the bills spread out while he showed me a sketch. "That's nice," I said, not looking up for long. "But you should think about something more secure." I said it gently. I thought I was guiding him. I was really passing down my fear like an heirloom. Lillian and I started talking less, not fighting, just fewer words. Our conversations became schedules: groceries, appointments, repairs. One night she said, "Do you ever wonder what you would have done if money wasn't the main thing?" I laughed, but it came out flat. Money is always the main thing. She didn't argue. She just turned off the lamp. The cost didn't come all at once. That's the part people don't tell you. Nothing breaks dramatically. It wears thin, like fabric. You don't notice the distance growing because you're busy maintaining the structure. The house is paid. The car runs. The savings account looks respectable. And yet, when you sit at the dinner table, there's a space you can't name. My son left for university and didn't come back except for holidays. That's normal, I told myself. Kids grow up. But our conversations were careful, polite. He told me about projects. I asked about grades and job prospects. We circled each other like co-workers. The turning point came in an ordinary way. That's how life does it. Lillian got sick. Nothing dramatic at first. Tired more often. A cough that didn't go away. We thought it was nothing. We always thought there would be time. By the time we understood it wasn't nothing, the doctors were speaking in soft voices. Weeks, months if we were lucky. I sat beside her hospital bed with the same feeling I used to have at my desk when something went wrong. I should have done more, but there was no form to fill out, no extra shift to take. One evening she looked at me and said, "You were always trying to keep us safe." I nodded. I was crying, but quietly. "I know," she said. "I just wish we'd let ourselves live a little more inside it." That sentence has followed me longer than she did. After she was gone, the house was very quiet. Not peaceful, just empty in a practical way. One cup instead of two. One voice, one shadow. I had the security I'd worked for. The paid-off house, the savings, the predictable days. And no one to share the safety with. My son calls. He visits when he can. He's a decent man, kind. But there's a distance I can't cross now. It was built over years of small moments I thought didn't matter. You can't go back and attend the play. You can't have the conversation you postponed for a better time. Better times don't line up the way you expect. What can't be fixed is not dramatic, it's simple. I don't know what I loved besides keeping things from falling apart. I don't know what I would have chosen if I wasn't so afraid of loss. I was so busy building a life that couldn't collapse that I never asked if it fit. Now my days are slow. I water plants. I fold the same sweater twice because I forget I already did. I sit with memories that feel like someone else's routine. I'm not miserable. That's the strange part. I'm just aware of what was traded, of how quietly it happened. If you're listening to this, I'm not here to tell you to quit your job or be reckless. I understand fear. I respect responsibility. They kept a roof over my family's head. I only wish I'd known that safety can become a cage if it's the only thing you're reaching for. I wish I'd asked Lillian more questions that didn't have numbers in them. I wish I'd gone to more of my son's small things, not just the big ones. I wish I'd found out what I liked when no one was grading me. You don't feel yourself disappearing. That's the trick. It feels like being good, sensible, mature. Until one day you're an old person in a quiet house, trying to remember what you once wanted before you got so careful. If any of this sounds familiar, just notice it, that's all. Notice the moments that don't earn money or approval, but feel alive in some small way. They don't look important. They are. I have some time left. Not a lot, but some. I sit by the window in the afternoons and let the sun land where it wants. Sometimes I talk to Lillian out loud. I tell her about the birds, about the neighbor's dog. I'm learning late to sit inside a moment without measuring it. It doesn't undo anything, but it's something. If this meant something to you, you can sit with it for a while. That's enough. I'm 81. I kept everything from falling apart. I just didn't realize I was allowed to be part of the life I was protecting.
Time has spoken. What will you do with yours? Subscribe for wisdom that lasts.